Zombies roam lost in despair. Cosmic whispers stir the air. Shifting through the realms of fright. Bound to realms beyond our sight.
I've got one that can see.
Spiritual ghosts hover near. Humming tales we dare not hear. Visions of the endless night, locked in eternal fight. Zombies roam lost in despair. Cosmic whispers stir the air. Shifting through the realms of fright. Bound to realms beyond our sight.
Welcome to the Ghost Corpse Files. Opening the files of mystery today, we have File 13 and Mage Grey Wolf. I hope that you enjoyed the new intro.
Worth it.
That's a good intro.
Wasn't that worth it? Wasn't it
Thank
worth
you.
it?
Thank
Fuck,
you.
bro.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Give him a second. Give him a second. Fuck, man.
See, I wish Hellhound was here to check out. I put in the terror dogs and everything for him so
Bro,
he can see it. But
it's like telling somebody what Halley's Comet is. You know what I mean? You see it the first time you get it, and it's like, bravo, sir.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I wanted to add some more like The Thing and In the Mouth of Madness, and
it's perfect.
There was just so much that I wanted to add Pennywise and stuff. But I do want to say hello to my panel, File 13. How are you doing, buddy?
I've been streaming since 4:00 this morning.
I know, man. I jumped in real quick, but I had so much going on.
It's
today.
been crazy. Everybody's been kind of busy streaming. Today has been such a fun day. I guess I wanted to prove to myself one more time that, you know what, streaming is so fun that I still like it. And then it's been a blast. And this is the piece of the la resistance for the last stream. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, we're just gonna have a lot of fun today. We're gonna talk about some haunted houses, and the Amityville house, Conjuring house, what we think about just possessing houses in general, that type of stuff. Are they like a different dimension? Are they a possession of a demon? That type of stuff.
Or ratty wood.
Yeah, exactly. Or just rotten wood where you're just getting asbestos and hallucinating and stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I want to say what's up to Mage Grey Wolf, the skeptic of the group. He is a Ghostbuster all the way from the Ghost Core Files, and I just want to say what's up. And how are you been doing, man?
Doing pretty good. I've been trying to get my research done for today.
Yeah.
So.
I wanted to let y'all know too, like the research, you don't have to get too deep into it, just a base knowledge so that we can talk about it. I wanted to talk about the haunted houses. I wanted to talk about Bob Lazar and the whole community of UFO people that his story is the one that checks out the most because he predicted things in our that have been included in our periodic table of elements decades before.
Not so much.
Well, we'll get into it.
Yeah, I got something on that.
Okay, cool. Well, I'd like to hear if you have some more information that I don't have. I'd love to hear it. So we're gonna go through that.
I've been there, by the way. Just want to let you know that.
To where?
The Amityville Horror House.
Oh,
I lived
really?
in the East Coast for a long time, so
Cool.
I never saw it with the original windows and stuff like that. When I went up there, they changed everything.
Yeah.
That the whole floor has been completely changed, stuff like that. So yeah, I can tell you
Nice.
what I thought
I
personally while
I've
I
s-
was there.
I've seen some.
So
Okay, perfect.
All
Yeah,
right,
that's
that's cool.
perfect. I've seen some videos earlier today of people that were taking tours of not only the Amityville house but Freddy Krueger's house. It apparently went up for sale. The house that they used for the original Freddy Krueger.
Are you talking about the movie
Yeah,
houses?
the movie, but they actually used a real house.
the
Yeah.
the,
And
the
it
White
went,
House.
yeah, it went up for sale, and so we'll talk about that a little bit.
Well,
Uh,
the Amityville movie house is different from the actual house.
Oh yeah, yeah, but the Freddy Krueger house isn't.
Yeah. That's,
So, but yeah, so now I want to go through the chat. What's up, BOTE Chris? I believe that is Skull of Calderon's minion. I want to say what's up. How are you doing? I hope that you are healing well after your car wreck. Been praying for you, and God bless you. Love you so much, man. Got DJ Play Nice here. Gunner, Penny, what's up? Saying hi to Chris as well. Penny, always a pleasure to have you. You are a blessing. God bless you, and thank you so much for checking out our paranormal, supernatural stream where we're going to be opening the files of the mysteries of life and going through all things paranormal as the Ghostbusters that we are.
I'm pretty sure they
And
want to see more than just me on screen.
oh, sorry.
Hi.
And
Oh,
then we got my friend from third grade on, Sean Johnston. Thank you so much again for showing up. They live. Fuck yeah, dude. They live is fucking awesome. John Carpenter in general. He's just
Yeah,
a master.
I just covered that on my trivia Sunday.
Oh yeah, yeah. John Carpenter is one of my all-time favorites. Not only horror directors, but just directors in general. He's up there. Not as high as David Lynch, but he's up there with David Lynch and Christopher Nolan and some of those other prolific Darren Aronofsky. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of great directors out there. So how you doing, Sean? I hope you're doing well. God bless you. And now let's go ahead and get started. First, I do want to go through what we have planned today. We have we're going to be going over some haunted houses, and let's see if I can bring this up. Yeah, so we're going to be going over haunted houses. Usually, we're gonna be talking about the Amityville encounter and how that was kind of exaggerated, but just the whole idea of being having the idea of the house being haunted or being possessed by
I
a
got a whole thing
demon, stuff
on the
like that.
Amityville thing you've seen. I
I,
showed
I
you.
yeah, I would. Yeah, I definitely want to go through all that, and then we're gonna go through some alien encounters with Bob Lazar. There's been a lot of reports, especially over the past 5 years, of alien encounters and stuff like that, and want to get your takes on that as well. We're also going to be talking about if there's any new horror movie releases and what you think about indie the indie side of horror versus the AAA side of horror, and where do you stand on that? Because I have a stance on it, and we'll get into that as well. And then as far as that goes, it'll probably take we'll go into like the Skinwalker Ranch a little bit and that type of stuff, and just if you have, we'll put like a if you want to put in chat, some stuff that you'd like us to cover. We will answer your questions as we get to them, and then we'll take some time for some super chats. Right now, please don't send any mega chats to Google, my PayPal, because PayPal is they're doing something really weird with my account, and I don't have full access to it. So anything that you want to send, just do it in super chats. and we'll figure something out in the future. But everything's just been so weird with Google and with PayPal recently. So yeah, we're gonna get into all that and more. And let's start with the Amityville and what you think about the whole situation with the Amityville house. We'll start with Mage because I seems like you have
Want me to go through my whole
yeah,
shtick here?
yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, let's see here. The story starts with Ronald Joseph DeFeo Jr., who on November 13th, 1974, murdered 6 members of his family with a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, this would be at the Amityville house, of course. This was just off the shore of Long Island, New York. They were according to the report in the trial, they were face down and showed no signs of struggle.
Mm-hmm.
The Fio claimed that he drugged his family, though no signs of this were in the autopsy. The motives remain rather unclear, though it was suspected that he was trying to do it to collect on his parents' life insurance, since he asked about that. After his conviction, the Fio would go on and to come up with different accounts of the claim, saying that his sister Dawn was the one who killed his father, or then his mother killed the rest of the siblings out of grief, and then he killed his mother. Or he again changed his story when he tried to file for a 440 to have his conviction vacated. He claimed that his sister Dawn and an unknown assailant was the one to have killed his family, and he killed Dawn while struggling for the rifle. So he changed his story up quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
The book,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The book, the night that DeFeo died, had reinvestigated the Amityville murders, and it was made by Rick Kasuna. He would see he casting doubts on some of the official stories of the murder, or while the author called Ronald DeFeo a liar, he said that he had any of his direct quotes independently verified. The book noted discrepancies in the official story, such as bloodstain in places where it was inconsistent with the family dying face down on beds, caliber rounds that didn't match the rifle used, and reports of several investigators who state that multiple people had to be involved. However, the claim of the books are also in doubt, as most of the claims are sourced by DeFeo's ex-wife, who sued the author over slander, claiming he never interviewed her. Ron and DeFeo died on March 12th, 2021, and the cause of death is never released to the public. In late 1975, the Lutz family moved into the house about a year after the murders occurred, and only stayed about 28 days and left claiming to have been terrorized by paranormal phenomena. And this is where things start getting really weird. The Lutz family was aware of the murders that occurred in the home a year prior, and had Father Ray Pecoro bless the house. According to George Lutz, the father, the priest, he said he felt an unseen hand slap him in the face in the sewing room, and heard a voice say, "Get out," which kind of a strange thing if you're being haunted by a family of ghosts who got murdered. According to Ares Correntino, the 7-year-old stepson of the family, who one of the three, who was the kids there, maintained the haunting was real, but exaggerated to the point of fiction, and started writing with the novel, written by J. Anson, and further exaggerated and popularized by the various movies. Quarantino reports having seen a shadowy figure approach him at night, and his bedroom window would bang open and shut. Quarantino said about his stepfather, he was a professional showman, in my opinion, and felt exploited by him. He also reported that his stepfather was extremely curious of everything paranormal and tried summoning spiritual beings by chanting. Quarantino, who wanted to set the record straight for his stepfather's version, he pointed his finger at the house. His father pointed the finger at the house, saying, "And there was something evil there." Or figures should be pointed at what he had done. His father, he's a predator and an instigator. In the 2012 documentary, which focused on the testimony of Daniel Lutz, who was 10 and when he lived in the house, assume weighed in on Lutz's claims. In my opinion, Lutz's children were disgracefully used as a part of a scam, and they must have affected them in serious ways. Now, I didn't put it in this little readout, but Daniel Lutz also reported having experienced ghostly activity with a window closing on his fingers and hurting him badly, which suggests to me now we have two kids reporting spooky things with windows. So what that suggests to me is they knew about the murders. There's their father obviously probably he was doing all sorts of weird stuff, so that might have been pretty impressionable to them. So maybe there was some faulty stuff with the windows themselves, and they just attributed it to the ghosts. And maybe he maybe actually did see a shadowy figure, or maybe he imagined it or dreamed it. Who knows? With a 7-year-old. So that's my guess. Is it's basically some really weird, some bad stuff that really did happen in the house. So obviously that's proven, but it's been overly sensationalized over the years.
I couldn't agree more. It is one of the stories that is most popular for being a haunted house, but from go ahead.
I forgot one more thing. There have been people living in there for many years afterwards
and never reported anything.
And never reported anything.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I wanted to bring it up, because it is one of I wanted to start off with a very popular haunted house that as time has gone on, we've found out more and more about the story, the true story, and how the inconsistencies and stuff don't line up correctly. And there is one part where I might be confusing this with another family, but I do remember hearing that the DeFeo, Ronald DeFeo, that's his first name, right? Ronald?
George?
George, yeah, George, I believe that's his name. Anyway, he was known for being a kind-hearted man before all this happened, but that doesn't mean that he can't have a dark side, you know? And so that was one of the things.
Oh yeah, Ronald DeFeo, you're talking about the murderer.
The murderer, yeah. Ronald DeFeo, the father that
he was the son.
Oh, he's the son?
Yeah, he was the son.
Okay, well, he's the one that moved into the house with his family, correct?
Well, Ronald DeFeo is the one who murdered his family.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So what I remember hearing is back, because I didn't do a lot of research. I had a lot of other stuff I was doing today, but I did remember hearing that he had a good reputation with the community and stuff like that, but that doesn't always mean that you don't have a dark side that you're hiding, and that you're not, liable, that you don't have something in you that could make you snap, especially with the insurance and all that stuff. I've seen, I've
also, I think I saw something about him being into drugs pretty heavily, and that can also change your mind, change the way your mind operates too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and see, Sean, we were talking about this last Thursday, actually, on the first episode of this, the Ghost Corpse. We were talking about how this house was very haunted, but you know what? In the past probably 10 years, it's been very quiet. There hasn't really been anything going on, but I did talk about the doll heads moving around, following you as you'd move around the house. The guy in the cowboy hat that followed me up the stairs that night, he was there with us at that party, and I got the fuck out of there. Like I left all of our equipment. Like we had like a VHS tape, like because we basically broke into my grandfather's house. Like we weren't living here at the time. Like this was just a property that my grandfather had lived in before with my grandmother, and they moved out to a more, snazzier, place. And this place was just sitting here, and we were just thinking about, hey, it'd be a cool place to party. It's haunted, there's lots of stuff. I remember my aunt she used to be really into like witchcraft and black magic and stuff like that. And so when she was in high school, so she summoned a lot of, she apparently summoned, talking to a skeptic, I have to say apparently, because, I don't have proof of this, but I do have experiences that provide me evidence for what I believe to have actually happened. But I was also smoking a lot of weed at the time.
That's the reason why I started with my story last week of being the ghost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, back in the day before you lived there, it was and that's what I was getting at. Before I actually lived here, my aunt, she was into black magic, and she did a lot of seances and stuff like that, and she had stories of getting hurt or getting people hurt. There was a story about how she was in the we have like a couple of different houses, like buildings on the property, and the one that I lived in for a while, that one's really fucked up in there. It still might be, but we hear things. The doors slam when there's no wind. We hear knocking on the doors. There's a like in those old speakeasies, how they'd have like the little window that opens up on the door. And well, this door has one of those little windows, and so it would open and then it'd slam shut. The TV would turn on or turn off, and then we'd just be standing there and just like, what the fuck just happened? And then we just pretend like it didn't happen, and then it'd turn back on. We'd be like, all right, just pretend it didn't happen, and then turn off again, and then it'd turn on again. We checked the plugs and everything. There was actually one time when
maybe another signal from a neighbor, perhaps, would have been.
Well, no, that's the thing. This is a property that's it's on 5 acres of land.
Oh,
so there's nobody around us. It's just us. So like there's nothing like that. But I'm not saying that it definitely was something, but I definitely believe, there's no neighbors. There's no neighbors anywhere.
If we're doing personal little stories, I got one to tell. This is when I was real little, almost pretty much still in diapers. We lived in this one house, and we had the hallway. You have the guest room, and then in the very back of the hall, we have my room and my mom's room, and my mom and dad's room. So I'm just kind of walking down the hall, and I look into the guest room, and I see this old lady sitting there in a rocking chair, and she looks very friendly, and she smiles at me. And I just looked. I didn't know who she was. I went over into my mom and dad's bedroom, and I asked, "Who's the lady in the room?" And she's like, "What lady? What?" I described what she looked like to my mom, and my mom looked at me, and she went into her dresser and pulled a photo. And said, "Is this who you saw?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's her. It was my grandmother.
Yeah,
she died a few months before I was born."
Yeah, see how
I never saw a photo of her up until that point.
Yeah, see, I know that you're skeptical on everything, but there's got to be a part of you that thinks to yourself like, okay, maybe there is something, because I mean, like, how can you explain that away other than just feeling like you were drugged or
well,
but even if
I can actually come up with a few ideas.
Okay.
One possibility. First of all, it's possible I did see a photo of her and my mom didn't know and I just hallucinated the whole thing. And believe it or
Well,
not, hallucinations is for children, really, even up into the teens. Usually more common with audio hallucinations are very actually common.
well, audio hallucinations, yeah, but you were saying you actually saw
Yes,
this.
visualizations can also happen.
Yeah.
They're more
Well,
common in audio.
how about you, File 13? Do you have any stories of or any thoughts about possessions of haunted houses, or um, uh, any things that you've encountered? I know you said that you've done some like investigations, or you're going on an investigation. How is that? How has your
So
experiences been?
I can tell you a story, but the problem I have with this is because I was a kid,
Yeah.
and my parents were highly religious, so
Hmm.
there's that aspect of it. So if I tell the story as if I was a kid, I would say that I lived in a haunted house for 3 years. I can tell you every single thing I thought could have possibly happened. So let's start from here.
Okay.
I remember it was so I lived in the East Coast in an area where they did a lot of Civil War stuff.
Hmm.
Right down the road, there was a historic building. It was a medical building for all the stuff from the Civil War. Uh, and we used to go to I remember this as a kid because we used to go there and the person would give us a tour and they had little gravestones outside. It was just this little historic area on this street in the middle of nowhere. I'll actually send you the address so you can guys look it up. And I believe it still stands there. It's
Cool.
actually located in New Jersey. So we lived in this house and just weird things started happening. Doors started opening when they shouldn't have. Cabinets were opening, and my mom would go to us like, "Hey, did you open this or did you do that?" And we're like, "No, we didn't
Hmm.
do that." You know, it started getting to the point where like, so this is a very old house. It had the old fuses. You know what I mean? You had to go down to the boiler and put the new fuse, things like that. And there was a hole in the basement that I remember my dad he filled in, but the hole would come back and be as like no one filled it in. You know what I mean? And again, my dad would come to us and be like, "Hey, did you guys do this?" You know what I mean? And we'd be telling him,
Yeah.
"No, we didn't do anything." And after a while, like we're getting in trouble as kids. This is the 80s. So you know how that worked.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where my parents were like, no, the kids aren't doing this. What's going on? Right. So I remember a pastor, because my parents were Pentecostal, coming to the house and kind of as soon as he got in there, it was like something's not right. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
remember this vividly because we would all sit down in the living room and listen to the pastor what he had to say. Uh, I remember he said, "Let's pray together." We prayed, and then he left. He didn't do anything else. You know what I mean? There was no. I've seen The Exorcist. It was nothing like that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it seemed like things got quiet. At the time, but then everything came back. Now, the most creepiest part that happened. So we were moving from the home and we had about 3 days left there. And all our stuff was in the truck and we were sleeping on mattresses. That's it. So for 2 days, we hear running, you know what I mean, downstairs.
Mm.
And I'm not talking about like pitter patter, like something that like running, like boom,
Like
boom, boom,
boom,
boom,
boom,
boom,
boom,
boom,
boom,
boom,
boom,
boom, boom,
boom. Yeah.
boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 running back and
Hmm.
forth, right?
Yeah.
And my mom comes into the room. She's like, "Why are you guys like?" She turns on the lights and she's like, "Why are you guys running downstairs?" Because we had two stairwells. This was an old house that had a stairwell going on one side of the house that was like um a maid's quarters. So then they you wouldn't see anybody go from the kitchen to the upstairs quarters because it was almost like a just a little closet stairs. So then you wouldn't see the help. This was a pretty old house. But for 2 days this happened. Now I can't tell you whether what I saw is what I saw. I was a kid. But I remember seeing something. I'm laying in the bed, right? And I remember waking up and I'm looking straight up, but in my peripheral, I see somebody walking. I can't see what it is, but I know it's something. It was black. It was in the shape of a like a dress. I could see it was a woman. If I
Hmm.
could really, really like think and in a peripheral, it was a woman. So I was scared, but in the fear of like my body couldn't move because like what the fuck is that? Okay.
Yeah.
So imagine your eyes being halfway open, halfway closed, right? Then this fucking thing decides to come over and hover above me, inches
Mm,
from my face. Now I cannot tell you whether this is real or not. I'm being very honest. But I might have been 11 years old, 12 years old. So I was at an age where it was in between imagination and being more mature.
Hmm.
Now I have to think maybe I was asleep, maybe it was a dream, but I got to tell you, I remember being awake. I remember being paralyzed in fear as a kid
yeah.
because I could not do nothing. Now, do I see now my perspective of ghosts is as an energetic sense, an energetic form. Uh I don't see it in the religious or spiritual sense. I see it as simply put a blob of energy that is unable to I see ghosts as a code. Imagine not being able to go to where you need to go to because your code is broken, because everything is energy. So because your code doesn't fit in that positive negative stream, now you're stuck in this limbo because your code uh didn't go right,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that's kind of how it works in the Matrix too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I see it more as like if there was a there was a thing done on a ship. I don't know. I watched some paranormal stuff that you pay the Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
a kitty.
Yeah,
And
that's my little hero.
hey,
Kitty.
He
it's always
wants
good to have a little
he
cat on
wants
the stream.
he wants attention, so
Get the cat lovers.
yeah. Yeah, if
But
anybody wants to donate to Hero for some cat food, he wants some
donate
cat
to the
food.
hero because cat food
Emotional
isn't cheap.
emotional manipulation. Yay.
Yeah.
No, but I think like
That's
and
what we do here, man. Emotionally manipulate people
yeah.
and try to get them to believe in the paranormal.
So that was my story. But as far as the Amityville horror, okay,
Hmm.
I visited there. I got nothing. I really got nothing. I'm pretty good at when it comes to feeling things in places. My wife says I got this thing that I can feel that stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, but one of the things I remember, well, it happened in 1974, so it's a lot of word of mouth. That was one issue, and one of the biggest issue I think that kind of put it to like, okay, now we're going to dispute it a little bit more was that the Warrens got involved in this too. I don't know if
Oh
you remember
yeah.
that, but the Warrens got involved in this.
Yeah.
I
And you
didn't
know
cover
that
that part.
That was like their first big case, I believe.
exactly. That was the first one, and then they did the Conjuring House.
Yeah.
And then from the Conjuring House, I believe it was the Annabelle doll.
Mhm.
This is just from kind of memory because I used to be a very
Yeah.
trying to check the stuff, but when they're involved, it's kind of like, okay, what's going on? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I feel the same way, especially as I've done more research on them. Um, I don't necessarily buy into their tales so much, but they're interesting. They're definitely
They
interesting.
make money.
They make
They
money.
make money is what
They
it
do.
is. Because
But
they wrote a book, I believe,
yeah.
after Amityville Horror. They ended up fucking what scumbags? I'm sorry. I know it's
No,
going
no,
off
no.
topic, but I mean, think about that these people, there's a possibility that what's going on in that home is really happening. And because these people have so much greed, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
see what you're getting at.
Oh, that's how you feel about Bob Lazar, Sean? Okay, we're gonna get into that a little bit later too. Okay.
Bob
Um,
Lazar is very interesting.
he is. I have, well, we'll get into it in a little bit, but so the haunted house and the Amityville thing, I wanted to use that as a branching off point to get into. Do you believe that there is there are houses out there that have entities attached to them, whether they're demons, whether they're just ghosts, whether they're just spiritually reliving moments of their life? Like if it's just like a moment, like a fragment of energy that they have, like this, that the spirit
A
has.
moment in time replaying itself.
That's exactly. Do you think there's possibility for something like that, or do you think that it's all just a hubbub? What do y'all think? I'll
Go
tell
ahead,
you what I
File.
think.
I don't think I need to say what
No,
I
I got to
think.
think about that. I do. I need to think about that for a second. I got to be
Okay,
honest with you.
okay. Well, I'll tell you what I think. I definitely do believe that there are demonic presences that have um, abilities to possess not only people but objects on this plane of existence. And I believe that it's few and far between. I think that there's a lot more reported than there are that's actually being that's actually happening to. But I definitely see with the evidence and I'm not going to say proof because it's not proof, but it's my own stories and my own lived experiences that I can use as historical evidence for myself to to say that I believe that there are demonic presences out there, and I do believe that there are moments in time in that are being replayed by certain entities. It's not that their spirits are still here, it's that their memories or their love or their pain or whatever it is so strong that that moment in time is being relived every once in a while. And if you're there at the right time, you can witness a piece of that. That's my own personal beliefs. I definitely see how people could not believe that, but that's my own personal beliefs. I definitely believe in the demonic realm and demons having the ability to be let into yourself or other possessions of yourself, be due to like the pagan gods and stuff like that having power, historically, biblically, and with the Lesser Key of Solomon and all that type of stuff. I think that there is a possibility. Yeah, and Sean, you make a good point too. All the 5G and Wi-Fi electric energy messes with them, and it could be used more prevalent.
That's
Which is why one of my favorite films is Pulse, because that's exactly what happens in that movie. The spirits are uh, conducted through these frequencies that we have latched onto through technology, and they use those signals to boost their own abilities, and they start taking over. I mean, obviously this is a fictional story,
though.
but
Here's the thing about that: we haven't seen an increase in the prevalence.
well, have we? I mean, that's the thing, is that would you believe? I mean, if all we have is stories, we don't have proof of it necessarily. I you know I think that just because we haven't seen it, yeah, Jason Love Pulse is creepy as fuck. Yes, it sure is. But just because we haven't seen it personally, I believe that I have, but just because somebody hasn't seen it, uh, doesn't mean that it's not out there. And uh, in the past decade, or not decade, in the past century, there has been an increase in sightings and people, and a lot of these are written off because obviously a lot of them are fake, but
Kind of like, those one thing. The jerk that my mother was dating had a police scanner, so we were listening into some police reports, and the
mhm.
person reported in seeing an object in the sky. Well, it turned out to be the full moon.
Oh yeah, see, but there's people out there that are, they just they want to they want to be able to say that they've experienced something and stuff like that. And maybe he was just a dumbass. I don't know, but there are dumbasses out there, so but anyway, that's what I believe, with my spirituality and my religious beliefs and stuff like that. I definitely believe that there are demonic entities that have a way to manipulate the human spirit, the human soul. And it's like when you see like the devil and the angel talking on the cartoon shoulders, or whatever. I believe that if you let one in, you have to let them in. But if you let a demonic uh, uh, entity in, I believe that they can have dominion or have some kind of control over you, whether that's just making you hallucinate things, making you do things that you wouldn't normally do. That's to be that's to be contested or
Well, put that to the test. All right, demons, come on in. I'm
well
waiting.
That's
well
not this
yeah
motherfucker.
yeah
That's
yeah
mate, bro.
Yeah, no,
I'm so
I mean with like a passion, like actually like with a passion, like you're doing it out of skepticism to
Yeah.
prove that it's not real. I'm talking about people that actually they're in so much pain and suffering, or
You're
maybe
talking about
they want,
emotionally letting them in.
yeah, emotionally like literally emotionally letting them in. I will check out that movie Nefarious. I have heard good things about it, so I will
Oh, and
check it
since we
out.
mentioned Amityville Horror, we'll look at the 2015 in Krampus movie. It's
Okay.
a it's a Christmas horror movie, and it actually
Yeah, I've seen it.
Has the Amityville house in one of the scenes as a little Easter egg.
Oh wow, I don't remember that. I remember Krampus though. That was it was a fun movie. It was kind of weird. I don't know. It was kind of weird, but there was also another one where this was another movie where the house was, it was like an English film, like a British film, or maybe they just had British actors or something in it. But the house is completely surrounded by like an alien entity. They don't know it at first. They think it's like a government thing, and they all start turning on each other. And man, that's gonna bug me. I don't want to start talking about it if I don't know the movie. But anyway, what? So File 13. Have you had time to think about what your beliefs are on that, or anything?
here's the issue with possession.
Mhm.
When you talk about possession, no matter how you look at it, you have to take it from a religious standpoint,
Yeah.
because possession is only described through and not just Christianity, but in other religions. If you look at it, the possession is described almost the same. Now, uh, do I say whether I believe it or not? I can't say whether I do or not, and this is why. When you look at writing, when you look at evidence,
Hmm.
you if you put yourself in a singular track, then you could be a skeptic. But if you look around the world, you see that people have almost the same experiences that I've never met, and this is almost the same thing with UFOs.
UFOs and aliens. Yeah, I
Um,
was thinking the same
there are
thing.
people that have had these possession like experiences that I've never, that have different types of set of beliefs, a different god or deity, whatever it is, and they've experienced what you would call possession. Now, modern science explains a lot of this off by schizophrenia. There's a lot of things. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't
Somebody
go into
having a,
crazy.
even somebody just being psychopath, somebody having a um um help me out here, man.
Well, well,
You don't even know need to go that far with schizophrenia or psychopathy or whatnot. I mean, like I said, having hallucinations is actually quite normal for people.
Well,
Absolutely.
and back in the day, I mean, they spirit photography, was a really big thing, and then they would prove, how they did the spirit photography and stuff like that. So I think a lot of that stuff is very few and far between, where you get like a possibly real situation, because they've spent so much time trying to make photos and evidence that is believable but isn't true. So it's like AI these days, where you have you can get Donald Trump or Joe Biden to have a lightsaber duel together, or whatever, and it looks real, but it didn't actually happen. So we're at a period where people know how to make things look real enough that it's difficult to distinguish, and
Yeah.
that's why I think it's going to always come down to individual experiences, whether you can, like, you're never going to be able to prove something
Well,
exists,
there are a lot of problems with individual experiences. For instance, there was a test in Pulse Memories. This one person did where they'd show a car accident on thing, and they afterwards they'd ask them a series of questions like how fast were the cars when they smashed into each other instead of hit each other, and by just framing the questions in that way, changed the way people responded. And actually started repeating things like about the glass on the ground. There's no glass in the frame, so people actually started reporting things that weren't even in what they saw.
Mm. Yeah, well, and that's why witness testimonials are
The least reliable.
yeah, they're the least reliable in court cases and stuff like that. But if you get enough people that saw a certain
Hello.
situation, and you get one person says, yeah, he was wearing a yellow shirt, and then another person says, yeah, it was like an orangish red shirt, but if they all come to like the conclusion, like, of the base account of what happened, then you can kind of take that for credit.
And
But
there's actually another report. I didn't was able to track it down, but these study he actually had people recounting being lost in a mall. It was completely something that they actually implanted into as a completely false memory. They never become lost in the mall. But the science has actually managed to get that into their heads and get them to recount the details of being lost in the mall that never happened.
And that's another thing. We'll get into it another week, but liminal spaces in general, that's another topic that I'd like to really get into at one point, like the back rooms and just the idea of like old dying or old dead malls, that don't have any stores in them anymore, that just, they're very surreal places.
I've walked through one before.
Oh, aren't they creepy, man? They are
They're-
so.
I actually I felt nostalgia because I go there like every week. So
Oh wow. Yeah, see, that they would scare the hell out of me, honestly. Like, it's just it's like a dead, it's like a corpse of a building that you loved. It's I don't know. That's how I see it anyway.
it's bittersweet.
The next part I wanted to go into is the Winchester house. Have y'all heard about the Winchester house?
Yes.
The lady that had did all those seances, and she was saying that she had spirits that were telling her to keep building this house. That is a house that I would love to visit, first of all.
Oh yes,
but
that'd be an awesome house to visit.
but it is so weird how the architect how she built the architecture. I mean, the entire, because the whole thing with the Winchester mansion is that she was building it for all of the people that had died due to the Winchester rifle.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
go
the
ahead.
claim of that was the whole claim of it, that she was trying to avoid the angry spirits that had died from the rifle. So she kept adding on to this house to keep them at bay.
Yeah, for sure.
Wasn't that a movie?
Might have been. It's been used in a number.
was.
It's
Yeah,
been
it
used in
was.
quite a number of different shows.
The Haunting. The
No,
Haunting.
no, it was called. Well, no, it was called The Winchester Haunting or something like that.
No, the movie with Liam Neeson, where they used the same thing, that the guy keeps building rooms for his wife.
Yeah,
There was a movie-
they've used it in quite a number of
Yeah,
movies
they
and
have.
shows.
Yeah, maybe, but there was one specifically about the Winchester house. Jason Love, yeah, I have to read this. Well, since you put dead malls like that, Theta, you sound very metal. Fuck yeah, and I get that from my friend Sean. He's the one that got me into metal. Him and John.
Metal song about dead malls. I'm gonna have to do something about that.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would love to do like a ghost hunt in like a haunted, or not a haunted, but a potentially haunted mall or something like that. So yeah, there hasn't been any super chats yet, so we don't need to go into the super chat portion. But I would like to remind you that the donations are open, and to not donate to. Ow, cat, stop! This cat is like getting my cord, and it's gonna. Anyway. Yeah, to keep the channel alive and running, I'm going to play the trailer, what I have. So stop it, hero. Gosh, I'm gonna play it real quick, and if y'all want to help donate to make this a product or a series that you are really going to enjoy and have some real actor / CGI mixture and stuff like that, then consider donating. I don't have a specific goal set tonight. I'll set one just because I actually do need some super chats to let Google know that y'all actually like the content. And for the goal, I will what should I do for a goal?
$1 million.
No, I'm going to read out of I'm going to read the Gozer and the Terror Dogs section out of the Tobin Spirit Guide.
Oh, that's good. I've got that too. I've got that right up here on my bookshelf.
Oh, well then maybe we should do a segment where we do a couple of look-throughs of that. Reading, and I'll be showing off the art in there too, because it is amazing art. And I'm just gonna do five super chats of $5 or more. That'll get the goal. Just something to let YouTube know, like, hey, this channel actually is getting some people that is supporting it. So maybe we'll push it to more people, and we'll get this show ironed out and more streamlined as we go, just like we did with the Sunday shows. And I'm just glad that you're all here. I do want to go back and say hi to all the people that have come through since the first segment ended, or since the first segment started. Sean, again, DJ Play Nice, how are you doing? Jason Love, thank you so much for stopping by. As always, it's a pleasure. Penny, love you so much. I hope you're having a great night. And Suzanne, thank you so much. You're such a sweetie. I'm glad that you're feeling better, and you're always my mama bear, protecting me and protecting the Theta Ranger and all of his morphin abilities. BOTE Chris, thank you so much for being here. And Gunner, thank you so much again for being here, Gunner. All right. I'm going to play this, and hopefully y'all enjoy it. And I don't know if y'all knew this, but in The Empire Strikes Back from Star Wars, obviously, The Empire Strikes Back, there is no other Empire Strikes Back, but they were going to replace Kenny Baker as R2-D2, and this is the test footage that they had for the actor that they wanted to change him out for. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is something that I found on the deep dark web, and yeah, check it out.
We're not interested in the hyperdrive on the Millennium Falcon. It's fixed. Just open the door, you stupid lump! I never doubted you for a second. Wonderful!
Men deactivate the hyperdrive on the Millennium Falcon.
Yes, my lord.
Good.
Yeah, it was a little too actiony. It just kind of broke the flow of everything.
Yeah,
but
I can see how that would break the flow.
Yeah,
I love Van Damme. No,
do.
they didn't break nothing. It was perfect. I love Van Damme. That is my favorite little clip. I love that shit. You have no idea how I've seen that before, and I just saw it, and just sitting here laughing and coughing. I'm like, I've got to mute myself.
Oh man, when I first saw that, I could not stop laughing. It was
Me and my wife saw that and laughed for an hour. Like that is the most.
God, so
when
perfect.
he elbows the oh, it's so good. Ah,
from Bloodsport.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah, perfect. All right, now let's get into some Bob Lazar. I definitely let me go through the.
Yeah, you go through your thing first.
Yeah, let me go through what I have researched, and then you can come back with your knowledge on this. So Bob Lazar, he is a guy that he built his first. Well, he worked for a number of big companies. He's a rocket. He specializes in rocket propulsion, and very smart guy. Even if you don't believe his story, you can't deny that he is a very intelligent guy. And he won some awards for the rocket car that he built all by himself with his own money and everything. And what ended up happening, from what the story that I've heard from the news guy, I forget his name, but he's from Vegas. And so basically he got hired at S1. Is it S1?
S4.
S4, which is a branch, apparently a branch of Area 51, which I actually went and visited Roswell, and when I was like in 7th grade with my grandfather and my grandmother. But that's a different story. I mean, we just went to the museums. We didn't see any real aliens or anything that I'm allowed.
Me and my wife went to Roswell, 2 years ago? Two, maybe 3 years ago.
Do they still have the museums and stuff?
Yes, they do. If just really quick about Roswell. So I don't know if you guys were able to go to the site, but that has completely changed, because what you used to do is they had a rancher there that would allow you to cut through the property.
Yeah.
Because they no longer do that. You have to go around, I think it was 20 miles or something like that, to go to the crash site and stuff like that. It's cool though. That place is very interesting. Roswell, New Mexico. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I would think that they would have had bigger museums though. Like all the museums that I saw, they were kind of like, I mean, it is a small town too, so I mean, I guess I can understand that. But it was the size of maybe like a basketball court or something like that.
They were like little dinky museums.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
I don't know if you remember, but the McDonald's is a spaceship.
Yeah. Exactly.
The McDonald's is a spaceship. Well, that was pretty
town,
cool.
Yeah, the whole town
is a spaceship.
Yeah, the whole town focuses on making money off of that event and everything.
Keep that in mind for the Skinwalker segment.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's very similar. So with Bob Lazar, he apparently worked for S4, and he, like they do with everybody that works for those the offshoots of Area 51, you have to go in through a special airport in Vegas, and then they fly you in on these special jets every day. Like that's how you get to work. Like you have to drive to the airport, and then the plane takes you to the base, and you go and work on these projects, and they make sure that you don't have any electronic devices and stuff like that. Sean, lots of meth heads there. Yeah, you aren't kidding, man. They really are. So basically, he didn't know what he was working on. He didn't. He wasn't told what he was working on, from what I've been told or what I've seen in the documentaries and stuff like that. And basically, he claims to have seen a corpse of an alien, and it was a typical gray alien. I think that he said that the eyes were smaller than what we would normally associate with grays, but other than that, the biggest part of it is he was tasked with working on making a ship fly, basically. And he said that there were 7 different ones, and he was tasked with working on the typical the saucer shaped engine. And it was just a part that he was working on. He said that, you know, they weren't allowed to know everything, so it was segmented out into to have different people working on different parts of this this piece of technology. And I don't think he understood. He didn't know what it was, and they were trying to reverse engineer it. And he was basically like, well, if I don't know what we're even working on, what we're trying to achieve here, I don't know how we're going to reverse engineer it. And the story that I've heard is that they took him in to show him how what they've got to work. And he said he walked into this chamber, this hangar, where this saucer ship was sitting. It was sitting on some pedestals or whatever, so it wasn't floating yet. But he said that once they activated one of the what it ended up being is a gravity I can't think of the word, but basically
manipulation.
It creates its own gravitational field around the ship. And there's 3 of them. So like there is a Omicron configuration and a Delta configuration. The Omicron configuration is just to make it float. And it's just the middle one, the one on the very center, that when it activates, it makes the saucer hover. And he said that there were no lines anywhere. There was no like welding. There was no way to see how to enter the ship. There was, it was all sealed shut, like perfectly, to where you couldn't tell anything was a hatch to get in or anything. But he was able to get inside and see that it was only big enough to fit one person, probably like 2 feet smaller than him. He said that when he stood up, he couldn't stand all the way up tall, and he's not even a very tall guy, but he tried to stand up, and when they closed it out, he could see everything around him, but nobody could see inside. It's a lot like Independence Day when Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith are going, using that alien ship, and then their screen or whatever comes up and nobody can see inside, but they can see out. But it was like that around the entire thing. And so when all the gravitational manipulators are working, he says that the ship, it doesn't fly like a frisbee would. It actually turns, and the gravitational device, it warps basically gravity. Instead of using propulsion, it pulls gravity towards you so that you can reach a light speed. And that's how you get around the whole not being able, like Einstein's theory of not being able to go faster than light speed, because gravity is basically its own, like you create your own gravity in this thing. You're not beholden to any of the gravity in space or any planets or asteroids that you might come across and stuff like that. So his story, as far as I know, hasn't changed over the years. He's been very consistent with everything that he's ever said, and he also brought up the fact that there was actually a couple elements that he was working on, that he was trying to work on anyway, and it wasn't on the periodic table of elements at the time, and he stole a piece of it, I believe is what happened. And then they found out because his wife was cheating on him, and so there was a lot of controversy and stuff like that.
He was cheating on her.
And he was getting very paranoid because he knew that he knew he did something crazy, and that they were probably gonna either fire him or do something crazy to him. And so basically, I believe he has the most evidentially based story for any UFO technology that I've ever heard of. And I think that you should go and check out the documentaries and stuff like that. But now I want to hear what Mage Grey Wolf has to say about this.
Okay, we'll start off. He claimed to be a nuclear physicist working at Los Alamos National Lab, and then he got the job at the Area 51 S4 site through good offices of Dr. Edward Teller, a leading physicist who worked in the atomic bomb and Star Wars program. However, Lazar's credentials were looked into, and was found that he was in the bottom third of his high school class, and had taken only one science class and didn't even graduate with his class. Lazar claims to have gone to MIT and Caltech, but both schools have no record of him, which is further supported by his lackluster achievements in high school. He also received a BS from Pacifica University, which is a mail-order degree mill. Basically, you pay these people and they'll just give you whatever degree you want. Lazar's claim of having been a nuclear physicist was repeated by local journalists who worked through the AP, but he failed to fact-check the claim. It seems his real job at Los Alamos was an electrical technician and through a contracting firm, not a physicist, excuse me.
Yeah.
In 1990, I don't want to really get into his arrest record, I guess. Should I?
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay. Well, in 1990, he was arrested for aiding a prostitute ring, but his charges were reduced to a felony pandering. And in 2006, he was arrested for violating the Federal Hazard Substance Act. He was transporting chemicals across state lines. Thing I heard was that it was for making illegal fireworks, though I came across another thing I didn't quite write down, that somebody might have gotten into something that was toxic from the way he shipped and died. But Lazar's claim seems to have seen a hand scanner at the S4 site in the documentary, putting that in quotes. The documentary Bob Lazar, Area 51 and Flying Saucers is the name of the documentary. He was shown a photo of a hand scanner and said this is the one he saw.
Yes.
The hand scanner he was shown was a prop used in the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which came out in 1977, 12 years before Lazar's claim. And in 1989, Scientific America had a story on the possibility of creating element 115. That's the element that he says was used to create the anti-gravity. The magazine was published only 2 weeks before Lazar's claims in having seen a stable version of the element, and that was used in his anti-gravity machine. Muscovium, which is the element in its name, is a very unstable element and thus highly radioactive. Nothing like what Lazar described seeing.
Well, that wasn't there. It's element 117 that I'm talking
115
about.
is what
No,
he's is that's
no,
what he reported having taken back is 115.
I thought. Oh, maybe I'm just misremembering, but I thought that it was 117.
No, it was 115, and
Okay.
we hadn't developed it, we hadn't produced it before or officially. It wasn't at the time. It really wasn't on the periodic table. It was only
Mhm.
speculative at the time. That he came up with the story, and we were only speculating on how we could possibly make that at the time. And then
Mhm.
later on, we have actually managed to produce small quantities of it, and it's a very unstable molecule. It was high. Is how that high atomic number makes
Yeah.
it unstable.
Yeah.
Uh, the area 51 is oh, okay. This is a little something I grabbed from the whole back in. If you remember the whole 2019 Naruto run in Area 51,
Yes. Yes. Of course.
this is a
Who
little.
could forget it?
Yes, that was incredible. What a bunch of fucking retards. I'm sorry.
Well,
Oh, man.
apparently this was even too much for Lazar because his statement on the thing was Area 51 is a unclassified research base. There are no aliens or alien technology located there. Lazar continued on Instagram. The only place there was ever or any alien technology was at Site S4 south of Area 51 and proper.
Yeah.
So
Well,
so
I
even
stand.
he was calling BS on that one.
Well, I definitely will look into it, but it sounds like I'm over my head on that one. I do not remember the arrest record. The Close Encounters thing I do remember. And I was mistaken on the element, it seems. I thought it was 117, but as you said, the higher you go, the more unstable it is anyway. So, yeah, but it's good to dream though, like the technology seems to be that, like the theory seems to work. If you could find a way to manipulate your own gravity or the gravity of a vessel, you could theoretically be able to move through space without being disturbed, like your motion being disturbed, and without light speed or speeds higher than we have
Mm.
access to.
Mm.
It's feasible. Like it's a theory that I could definitely wrap my head around if we could figure out a way to uh, manipulate that gravity. And that's why I guess I buy into it a little bit, because I want to, I want it to be true. I do want to say thank you so much, David Forrester, for that super chat. I will be playing a video, thank you video, in just a little bit once we're done with this segment. But I definitely want to believe Bob Lazar's story. It seems so. Uh, I want it to be true so bad.
Well, my conclusion is he's unreliable as a
Yeah,
source.
at most, yeah, or at best, yeah. That makes sense. I mean, who isn't unreliable to some degree? I just the stories that I've heard over the years, like I've heard Joe Rogan interview him.
Yeah, he did.
I've heard Cat Hero. My goodness, you just have to be in the middle of everything. But I've heard the interview. I've heard multiple interviews from him, and the story is always the same. Like the like they tr- they try to they try to manipulate his answers so that he doesn't
Slips
have
up.
this slips up, but
Mm.
it always comes out the same, and I think that's why I wanted to believe him. But yeah, Sigvaldason sounds like an outright liar, but that's only based on what I heard. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if he having a police record and stuff like that, I did hear explanation. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but I do remember hearing explanations about how how he was at MIT, and the government, obviously this is all conspiracy theories, but after he stole the elements and stuff like that, the people that he worked for wanted to make sure that he kept his mouth shut, so they blackmailed him with his wife, cheating on him, and making him like distressed over that, and multiple things like that. So I heard, I've seen where he's explained, and it could be, it could very well be a lie, obviously, but I've heard explanations to where he that they went back and they changed his grade point average, and they changed where he worked and where he went to school and stuff like that. And the reason I guess I kind of bought into it is because I can't imagine somebody building a rocket car being not top of the class, or anything like, not having the training or expertise in that type of
Well, obviously, he had enough training and expertise to become an electrical technician at this lab.
yeah, but
So-
but to build a propulsion rocket before they even hired him, that's where I kind of bought into the whole conspiracy theory of they went back and changed his records and stuff like that, because he built that before he ever worked for them, and so. But yeah, he could just be a flat out liar. I mean,
Yeah, I was a little hesitant to include the whole criminal record thing because it kind of gets into a little bit of ad hom kind of thing,
No, but I mean, it needs to be talked about if we're going to be real, and and talk about his credibility and stuff like that. It needs to be, it needs to be brought to everybody's attention so that we all get the whole story, and we're not just, trying to, feed into our own wants and desires of what's true and not. I want this to be a program where we can discuss our feelings on things, but also the facts of what's been going on. And if there's any criminal history, that definitely needs to be brought up to his his credibility. So, I'm glad that you did. File 13. What about you? How do you feel about this situation? And I'll just get into the bigger question after, while I ask you about how you feel about Bob Lazar. But what about aliens in general? Do you believe in the theory of being able to manipulate gravity and build faster than light space travel, aliens in general, that type of stuff? Or are you kind of skeptical too?
So first, I send you guys something on the Twitters. Have you guys received that?
I haven't looked at my phone. I will
Take a look real quick, and then I'm gonna tell you where I come from with this whole alien.
Oh,
thing.
okay. I got
Okay.
you.
Oh,
So
okay.
don't share it.
No,
That's
I'm not.
me.
No, I'm
Okay.
not. I'm not.
Now, think from there, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you this is how
Yeah.
I feel. I'm skeptical. Skeptic.
You're
Skeptic.
skeptical.
I'm
Yeah.
skeptical. Shut up,
You're
sir.
skeptical.
I'm a
Cool.
skeptic about ghosts. I can even be a skeptic about Bigfoot. Okay. I can tell you right now, beyond a benefit of a doubt, from what I've seen, from what I've been involved in, and from what I know. Not UFOs, because a helicopter in the sky with the lights off is a UFO.
Mm-hmm.
Extraterrestrial life exists. It absolutely does.
Wow.
Not just that. I can't say
Yeah.
about Bob Lazar because I want you to think like this for a second. Let's think outside the box, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are a government employee, okay? You wouldn't be working in Area 51. You would actually be working in White Sands missile range with this kind of shit. Look that up if you want to have some
Yeah.
fun.
No, I know all about White Sands. Yeah.
So what he talks a lot. He
Mm-hmm.
talks about propulsion system, stuff like this. Let me tell you something. if you understand how clearances work, if you understand how this monster works, you don't you're not into the specifics of how things work, how specifics are dangerous because specifics put people in situations because you're not working solos on these what I would say um programs, okay?
Yeah.
One of the programs I was involved in was the super soldier program, okay? There was some technology that I saw and that I was involved in that I would never believe existed. Okay, that's some shit.
Yeah.
Now, as far as like this whole, he would never talk, and that's why I have such a hard time. Now, can I say that some of his stuff has some, it's almost
Validity.
bullshit. I can't say it. I
Yeah.
can't, but I can
hear-
tell you right now that I have been in Colorado where they have NORAD. I've been into NORAD. I have seen some shit in there. There is some interesting things that you do a double take, but you don't have the time to process. You know, um, I have spent nights in Air Force bases where I don't know what the fuck is going on, and all I'm told is that I need to patrol this area, and whatever is happening, it is what it is, and you report to one person and one person only. Okay,
Yeah.
I have a good understanding in the government aspect of this because you see a lot of shit. You really do.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see people popping up that you don't know why they're there or what they're doing, but you're just doing what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Don't ask questions. Yeah.
Well, you're not allowed to even do that shit. Now,
Yeah.
when you move up and you start getting more the ability to access more information, let me tell you something, okay? The the shit that the public doesn't know is sometimes better because the
See, and
public
that's a good point too. Yeah.
because the public, I hate to use such a cliche line, but Tommy Lee Jones said it the best that one person can take this type of information, but a group, it can cause chaos and anarchy. And I really do believe that. Now, last year they did it, they said that UFOs existed. They
Mhm.
literally went on TV, the president. Somebody went on TV and said
Yeah.
UFOs exist,
Yeah, that's why
and
I
no
said
one batted an eye.
the past 5 years, there's been a lot of reports that have been declassified and have come out about they call them UAIs.
UAIs.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really amazing to hear. Like,
But you
I
got to understand that I can't say whether it is true or
yeah
whether
no
it's not true. But based on, I'll just say that in my opinion, I they are there now. As far
UAPs.
now, we can get into you can get into a very deep conversation on how the transportation system works because it's not what you think. It's
mhm.
it's 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 almost I don't want to get into all this stuff,
Yeah, no,
but
you don't have to get into
it's
anything.
but it sometimes they wave the hand on the left to distract what's going on the right.
Oh yeah,
Y-
just like a magician.
Exactly. And the UFO thing is almost like I truly believe that it's something that's going to be trickled out. It's going to be trickled little by little. Like we need.
Over how long? Like how long of a period of time do you think? Like, do
So
you
it's
think
been
we'll
going
see
on
it?
for a long time.
Do you? Yeah, but do you think we'll see it in our lifetimes?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. I like I said, there's a lot of things that I'm a skeptic about, but when it comes to, and I'm not even going to say grays because grays is such a, I think more of a at a uh, uh, atomic scale, more at a energetic scale.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Don't
So
think of a of
almost like transcendental or something like that.
yes. Don't
Okay.
think because energy travels at whatever speed it chooses to. There's no limit to it.
Mm-hmm.
This perception of grays and stuff like it, you have to think that we have. I can get so into this because now you can start getting into way back into the Sumerians and how they had their belief, and they actually believed of that they were UFOs. They were the gods,
Yeah.
And this subject I really do enjoy when it comes to the UFO stuff, because I have been involved, and at some point I was able to learn a lot of stuff and read.
That's
You know what I mean?
crazy.
I was privileged for that stuff.
Yeah, and those Sumerians, they're Gozer worshippers.
Yes, they are. But I mean, as Bob Lazar, you have to look at the credibility, right? If there's a record that he was in Area 51, well, the first thing they would look at is he would have to receive a clearance. This is not some shit that they just bring you in. Okay. And the fact that he's talking about it, then they absolutely have to give him some type of clearance. People can go to Area 51. That's what people are not understanding.
No, he didn't work at Area 51. He worked at S4.
S4.
Yeah,
which was like a sub level. Is that what it was?
It's
adjacent.
It's adjacent to it, but it's not the same location.
But the way he talks about it, it's not. I'm just letting you know. There's some little things in the story that just doesn't make sense. The whole, I mean, that gravity propulsion system. If the way you talk about it, it does make sense. If you can control gravity,
yeah.
I mean, come on. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel about it too. Like if you could manipulate gravity, then all of the barriers that were keeping you from getting to light speeds and stuff like that is all the barriers are gone. If you can control that, because the force of getting to that speed isn't going to melt your face off, because you're safe inside that too, because the gravity inside of it is protecting you. You're creating your own basically your own bubble of energy to prevent you from moving, from being jostled around or anything. And the system or the object that you're using to fly through space or whatever is also being protected and being instead of being propelled from the back, like you're actually being pulled from the front.
Talking about the Alcrombie drive, huh?
Yeah, and like being like warped basically to where you're warping the gravity in front of you.
Yeah, it's actually warping space around on the ship rather than moving the ship itself.
Exactly, yeah.
There are a few problems with that, such as if you were to actually go up to light speed itself, if you can actually basically irradiate the interior of the bubble, which would basically fry the crew. But if you remain
would it though, or would it be protected by the gravity itself? Like
no, it wouldn't. This is actually something that came across with some physics they were doing on. I think it was Stephen Hawking who came up with that one, but there's other things you can. I mean, if you enjoy just below sub light speeds, you could get to another planet within like a few years.
Yeah.
So think of it more of a frequency. Don't think of it as gravity. Don't think of it as imagine a wavelength, a frequency. Radio frequencies is the most simplest one.
Yeah.
Imagine traveling in that way, being a frequency. You would be able to get at a location almost instantly, as long as the frequencies match.
See, I've always liked the idea of manipulating frequencies. I always thought there was something to
that the human body vibrates at a frequency.
Exactly.
432.
I'm working on a little bit of didn't have it ready though.
So if again, like I said, I'm just putting a little dabbles out there. Imagine
I love it.
Imagine if you look at not travel as just as a transfer of energy through frequency, where 2 points are recognized in the same frequency. It never changes, and it is never affected unless that frequency is changed.
Yeah.
So once we as people can change that frequency, when different frequencies are played around us, we have different moods, different feelings. So imagine being able to master that and being able to travel that way. That being said, I truly believe, and this is my Ghostbusters February 14th prediction that, and it kind of fits. We will be visited soon. We will be, and this is why. We've run out of technology. If you look at anything that's been done recently, there is nothing new. No new phones, no new TV. There is nothing we can say. We've gone from the rotary phone to the cell phone. It's been years. A lot of people call it the Matrix effect, where we're in a simulation and now we're stuck. I truly believe that we are at a point where extraterrestrial life will visit us, will bring us technology, and it'll just become the norm.
That technology, though, is it gonna be transcendental, like you're talking about, more ethereal, like, or will it be mechanical?
So that,
just in theory, like,
it's never mechanical.
Okay.
You have to understand that as humans, we are mechanical because we are inferior. We are. If you look into the UFO, it's not the UFO, but extraterrestrials. They're way beyond our capacity of thinking. So our thought of mechanical things, it's like us with our iPhones looking at cavemen. It really is.
Yeah.
We are just little things in a petri dish. Now you can go into it of that, whether it was UFOs that created us, that kind of stuff. You can take that route. I don't know how far that goes, but going back to the UFOs, yes, I absolutely believe they exist. I know they exist. I can tell you that. I know it.
That's crazy.
I really do believe that they will be visiting us soon.
Cool.
Seriously.
That's a good way to end that segment. I like that. Some good information from everybody. I think we all agree that Bob Lazar might be counting as his eggs before they hatched, trying to get a little more. But that's human nature for you. I'll definitely do some more looking into that, and there's definitely some positive things to look forward to as far as File 13 is concerned. In the future, we will be getting newer technology along with some aliens coming down to hopefully not take over the world, but befriend us. And Sigvaldison, I just don't see gravity being a means to getting faster than light. I will admit my thinking may be limited, perhaps a means to twist between 2 points. And that's exactly what I was talking about. It's not so much going faster than light, but it's manipulating space and time. Because if you can manipulate gravity...
That's an interesting little thing. I came across a thing. Somebody actually found it theoretically possible that the way Doctor Who travels in time could be theoretically possible.
That's cool. That's awesome.
If we could actually achieve it.
Yeah.
All right, with his magic pen?
Yeah, with the TARDIS.
No, the screw,
the magic screw,
the psionic screwdriver or whatever.
No, the TARDIS.
Yeah,
the way that thing works, travels through time and space. That would theoretically be possible.
Yeah,
the way it works.
All right, David Forrester, this is for you, buddy. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you so much, man. That was a super sticker for a blue chicken with a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, buddy. That's awesome. That means a lot. Anybody else wants to send something in and let me know what you want me to read out of the Tobin Spirit Guide. Keep the, we just need, I'll just do 4 more. I'll count that $3 one is a $5, and we'll do some Tobin Spirit Guide reading. The next thing I wanted to go over, I wanted to basically pose a question to not just the panel but everybody. And in the chat, type it out. But we're gonna go over our own I want to ask if you could witness one paranormal event in history firsthand, what would it be? And for me, I would honestly like to witness a full-fledged apparition, like a fully formed um, physical manifestation of some type of spirit entity. Or no, you know what? I'm going to be even more specific. I want to see an angel. I want to, because I don't want to be dealing with no demons. I don't want to be, manipulated and whipped, by Hellraiser and chains coming, through my body. I want to witness an angel. Not a burning bush or anything like that, but I would like to see I don't know if you've ever gone through the Bible lore and like how they describe what angels look like, but some of them are described as being wheels within wheels within wheels that have eyes all around themselves.
Yeah, some of those angels get pretty freaky.
Yeah, and that's what I want to, that if there was one thing that I could witness in the paranormal realm, it would be obviously God would be first, but I wouldn't, as a human being, our minds and bodies couldn't comprehend the glory of God.
Well, you can appear as a burning bush. I'm sure you can come up with something that you can comprehend.
Yeah, but if I was to, besides God specifically, I would like to see one of those angels, like a wheels within wheels within wheels with eyes, and I believe those are the cherubs. Those like in Renaissance paintings, the cherubim are the little baby angels and stuff, but the actual description of cherubim are wheels within wheels within wheels with eyes that go all around them for every soul that walks the earth or has ever walked the earth. So they're like enormous. So that would be mine. I don't know about y'all. Who wants to? Does anybody have something next? May
we allowed going back in time to see some event.
Yeah. I
All
mean,
right,
anything paranormal.
In that case, I'd like to see Jesus' resurrection.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a real good one.
I want to see that guy get up and walk around, respawn after 3 days. A terrible lag. Well, I'm not sure I want to do the whole doubting Thomas thing. That sounds kind of gross, sticking my finger in a wound.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, if I saw that he had passed away and then saw him, I wouldn't want to stick my finger in his wounds. Yeah, I would just take his word for it that he was, he was back. And oh, what's up, Sigvaldison? A few decades ago, I experienced an entity that sat on my bed. I believed it was a person that had recently passed who lived in that room. I have a story for you then too, because that's something that, I mean, when File 13 was talking about his whole sleep paralysis sounding type of story, something happened to me like that too. But first, this is for you, Sigvaldson. Hey, and Sigvaldison, if you want to let me know in the chat, because the other night, maybe it was last Sunday, you went to bed early and you didn't get to see the world end, but I made a video specifically for you to witness the world ending, the big red button being pressed, and I don't know if you got to see it. So if you want, if we meet the goal, I'll also add that to the end of this stream so that you can check that out as well. Yeah, so because I made that just for you. You missed, well then we just need 3 more three more donations, and I'll add that to the end of the stream so Sigvaldson can see it. You can always go back and rewatch it if you want on one of the streams, but I'll do it here specifically for you because I made that for you, buddy. I made the whole song and I made the whole video all for you. So, and if anybody wants to rewatch the intro, I worked really hard on that too. I like the song and think it's pretty rocking. But anyway, File 13. Now it's up to you. What would you like to experience paranormal wise if you could choose anything?
Oh my God, I'm gonna just destroy this so bad. I want to apologize for this, guys, because you guys all have all these cool ones.
No, dude,
right?
there's no destroying it. This is
So
what you want.
I thought about this. I'd want to talk to my dad.
Oh,
That's a good one.
That's really good, man, dude.
So,
that's sweet.
My dad passed away. He was 62 years old.
Dude,
So he had like a early onset Alzheimer's kind of shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, my dad.
Dude, that's so sweet, man. Like that warms my heart, man. everybody put some F13s in the chat for him, man. That's
Oh
nice.
no. I thought about it. I'm like, if there's one person
No, I know.
I'd like
I'm,
to talk
I'm just
to,
saying. I'm just
you
saying.
know.
That's one of the coolest answers I could have ever. I never would have expected something like that. I would have expected something more, bigger scale. But that's such a. I mean, that just tells me how much you loved your dad, and love your dad still. You know.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
that's dude. I never had a father figure in my life, other than my grandfather, and we weren't really close until the last 2 years of his life, when I was taking care of him. But he was the only male role model in my life. You know, he started his own business, his own welding supply business when he was when he got out of the military.
Right.
He was in the Korean War, and yeah, also, you know, he was just you know, he had his problems, he had his infidelities and stuff like that, but he was you know, he worked really hard. He was a very stoic, you know, guy. He had a very subtle and sarcastic sense of humor. But yeah, he was the only male role model in my life. So like hearing you say that, that's yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, everybody, F13. That's cool, man. That's really cool. My heart is warmed hearing you say that. So
I'm really glad. I'm
Yeah.
really glad.
yeah. All right. Let's get to some alien or some horror movies and sci-fi releases. And what do you think about? We're gonna get into the AAA horror sci-fi side of things versus the indie side of things. I have a personal belief that the indie scene has made horror and sci-fi great again. The AAA horror movies that come out, you know, there's a few and far between that are good. Like the original Conjuring was good, Insidious was good. There's a few here and there. There was one with who's the guy who played Hannibal Lecter?
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, inside. Not it wasn't. It was the guy who played him, but he played a priest.
Anthony
Hopkins.
Hopkins.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins played a priest in this one movie. That was a really good one. But the AAA horror and sci-fi side of things, it just really isn't there. There's a couple of them that come through that are pretty good every now and then. But if you watch some indie horror films or sci-fi films, you're usually gonna find some things that you're like, damn, they did some really good shit, and they didn't pay millions and millions and millions of dollars to make it either. They just had a really good story, and they made a good film out of it. And that's why I want to do, what I'm trying to do with Dead Franchise Busters. I want to show people that not only can you create things that are even better than the AAA stuff, but you can enjoy it too. You can do it how you want. So what do y'all think? What are your thoughts on uh, the indie films versus AAA films in the modern era?
I don't know, I think horror in modern era in general has been kind of hit and miss overall.
Even in indie?
Yeah, even in indie.
Really? I think that there's a lot of good indie films that have come out in the past 10 years uh, that have really, I don't know, they've really scared the shit out of me. I mean, like, I'm not the type of person that, like, jumps and, like, gets really scared, but, like, I'm the type of person that, like, I'll see something, I'll be like, fuck, that's creepy as fuck, like.
Yeah, sure, you can get good indie, you get good, regular, mainstream stuff. It's just it's always just kind of hit or miss though. Still,
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, so your opinion would be that it's the same either way. There's
Yeah. Then,
there
yeah. Then again, give me a good ghost story, even if it's a crappy movie, I'll watch it.
true. I'm the same way. If there's a ghost story to be told, I'll be there to watch it. Usually it doesn't pan out, like the Nun series and the Annabelle and that type of stuff. Like the original Conjuring was good, but the rest of them, they kind of started falling apart. The second Conjuring was all right, but it started falling apart. Like I said, Paranormal Activity, that started out good, but then it started to really just kind of jump the shark. That that's
Yeah,
how I feel.
though I'm gonna say, hey, I hate it when they started off with this ghost story, and at the end it's like, oh no, it wasn't a ghost story. It was the human all along, just having a hallucination, or just it was just all in their head. That kind of. I hate those stories.
Yeah. See, I miss the days of movies like In the Mouth of Madness or Event Horizon or the psychological horror movies that have paranormal have ghosts in them and stuff. Jacob's Ladder, that was another really good one. There was just, I mean, The Thing, I mean, all the Carpenter stuff, um, Prince of Satan, or Prince of Darkness. That was another good one by Carpenter. He just did some amazing stuff. They Live, obviously. Hellraiser, Clive Barker. There's just a lot of those older films, those older horror films, Exorcist, The Omen. They were so good back then, and these days we're getting just rehashed plots. They call it a different name, but they're just not very. I mean, but that also goes to the fact that just anything these days, the writers, they just aren't there. They've checked out.
It's also a lot harder to write good horror nowadays with or modern technology. Because think about we had in most good horror movies, it's the isolation that really scares it, and nowadays everybody's got a phone in their pocket, so you got to write around that somehow.
True. Yeah. What about you, File 13? How do you feel about the difference in the AAA versus indie movies?
Well, horror movies to me is almost generational. I think that when you look at horror movies, you have to look at when they were made. Um, if you look at the generation that we're with right now, they're so desensitized that the horror movies that they have to make have to be so extreme. Now, I personally believe that the independent market is vastly doing better than you would say any studio, because they don't really have limitations. They do what they like. It's more of a passion project, and that's how you get movies like I forget what the name is, but the clown with the that just kills everybody.
Pennywise?
No,
No,
Oh, I know what you're
The
talking
White
about.
Clown.
Oh,
Terror Riot.
Art the Clown,
Terrorizer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you get Art the Clown because people are desensitized to all this stuff. So you have to go extreme, like really extreme to get some type of response from an individual. Now,
Yeah.
what I really don't like is when they started taking public domain characters like Winnie the Pooh and stuff like that and started writing them as horror characters. It was like, why? Why are you gonna make Winnie the Pooh? I mean, do what you want, but it wasn't an enjoyable horror. It was almost silly in a sense.
Mm.
And horror is supposed to give you that the hairs to stand behind your back, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't get that anymore. You know, you
Well,
show. I haven't seen a movie that has given me that, and I love horror. I haven't seen anything that gives me that feeling like, man, I need to look over my shoulder. Actually, there is one. There is one movie.
What?
I do know one.
What?
It's called Last Shift.
Dude,
That fucking movie
that's
was
an
the
indie
was
film
the
too,
first
though.
movie I
That's
saw
what
that
I'm
freaked
talking
me
about.
out.
Yeah, that song that they sing.
That
oh,
whole
man.
police, that
Yes.
movie freaked me out.
You know they remade that, and it's
Yes.
so bad that they
Never saw it because I wanted that first movie was like
it was
it
perfect.
felt like the first time I watched the horror movie.
It was
so
perfect.
good.
Yeah, the homeless
that on
man
my
that comes in peeing on the so it's about this this police officer that her father was in a police shootout with a Manson family type of situation, and he got killed. He brought them in, and I think that there was like a raid with his followers, and they came in to the police station, and her father got killed. So she grows up, and she wants to be a police officer like her father, and so she ends up getting the last shift at the police office, police building or whatever that her dad used to work at, and the new police building is being opened the very next day. So like all the people and all the calls have been getting moved over to this new place, and she's there all by herself as the lone police officer to stay the last shift at this building, and then a bunch of crazy shit ensues. Oh man, it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, another good one to check out is The Autopsy of Jane Doe. I
That
can't
was
say
another good one. No,
That's
that
a good movie.
yeah.
That's another good one. Yeah,
It's
Very
it's
good.
very underrated, honestly.
It is. See, that's the thing is that maybe these aren't considered indie films, but I consider them indie films though, even though they have some like I think that I forget his name, but he's a good actor. He's a well-known actor. He was in The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Both of them actually, the father and the son.
Brian
But,
Cox, I believe, is the father.
Yeah. But yeah, it was an all-around good movie, and there's all those gems. If you look for them, they're out there. Those indie films. There's even horror. I mean, there's even sci-fi movies that are really good. There was this one with the guy Peter Petrelli, the guy from Heroes, plays Peter Petrelli in that show, and also Sean. Oh God, I'm so bad with names. But he played Iceman in the original X-Men trilogy. Sean Astin, or no, not Sean Astin. That's the Lord of the Rings guy. Sean Ashmore. So yeah, there's some good stuff out there. You just gotta check it out, look for it. There's even some good stuff that's corny, but it's still good. Like there's some scary parts in it. Judas Priest, or the Judas Priest is another one. It's like an English film, and it all takes place in this one room, and it's filmed just in this one room. But they come in there like Ghostbusters, but like a spiritual Ghostbuster type of thing, where they have like a technician, they have a somebody that can summon that can read minds. Like it's really crazy, like the way that they do it, but it works. It's so, oh shit, Sig Volison, dude, thank you so much. Where this is the final topic, and then we're gonna get into some closing stuff. But you deserve this, man. Okay, he says first. Okay, let's get into this. I truly dislike horror films. I think if they put a paladin in them that shows up and starts cleaning the house, by the way, a lawful good paladin can do with a +5 holy avenger vorpal blade. All right, yeah, I get it.
I always put in the context of Ghostbusters. Oh, okay, let's see. The Cinnabites, those are class 7.
Yeah, exactly. I do too.
How can I defeat Pennywise with the equipment that Ghostbusters offers? So we need some mood slime, some positively charged mood slime. That should help weaken him, and we should be able to trap him no problem then.
Dude, I ever since Tony showed me this this leather bound Tobin Spirit guide that they're pre-ordering, it's like $290. I have been like hounding my mom, like if she gets her inheritance first, that she gets it for me, because she owes me so much, man. So I've been begging her for that because it looks so good. But yeah, Sigvaldson goes on to say, probably shows I'm an AD&D player since 1979. I don't know if that was a play on words, attention deficit disorder player, or if you just meant AD&D player since 1979. But then the $10, salute to all those paladins I played over the years. Paladin Patrol, group to the lawful good holy fighters, bringing morals and justice wherever they go, whether it's wanted or not. Hell yeah. See, that's the character that I'd play to, a lawful good. Probably like a not a sorcerer, a wizard, a lawful good wizard that uses like force powers, but also like a monk type character, because monks can use spells, but they can also be good fighters too. So I'd want like a lightsaber. I'd want to incorporate that type of
may your adventures not be tainted by the garbage they've been putting out recently.
Yeah, exactly. No, you didn't break the line of thought. I'm glad that you got to do that. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, because that's going to be a big thing that I want to do too. Is like I said, I keep saying I want people to have a D&D adventure here on this stream. So yeah, one donation away from some readings on the Tobin Spirit Guide, and then the song, the video that I'm going to play for Sigvaldson. And we were talking about indie films versus AAA films, and we were pointing out some pretty good films, but none of Hereditary is the only AAA movie. See, I say AAA. I don't know if AAA is how you define the bigger budget.
Well, we understand what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
Say AAA. Yeah.
Yeah. So Hereditary is the last big budget horror, like straight horror movie that actually creeped me out. The little girl that played in that movie, she creeped me out alone, but without getting into spoilers and stuff, like when what happened to her, that freaked me out. And then when the mom, like making those dioramas, there was just so many good scenes. It was just put together very, very well, and all the actors in there. I love the actor Gabriel Byrne. He played the father in that movie. he was really good. All of them were just so good, and then just putting all the plot together and figuring out, okay, are these people just going crazy? What's going on? And then you find out what's really going on. That was the one. That was the most recent one that really got to me. I don't know how y'all felt about that movie, but I really liked it.
Not sure if I saw it.
You didn't see Hereditary? That's another one I'd put on my list. What File 13? Have you seen Hereditary?
You know what? Let me take a look real quick because I watch so many movies. I forget names all the time. Let me take a look real quick.
I would think that you'd like it. It's about the demon Paimon and just check it out. If you haven't seen Hereditary, give it a chance because it's definitely worth it.
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
That's going on my list.
Definitely. Yeah. I think one of these times we should have we'll have like a movie or something that we get into. Like we'll watch a movie 1 week, and then we'll discuss the movie on here, and I'll bring like a slideshow and kind of break it down and stuff. Oh, Sig, you did it! All right, thank you so much. It looks like we got to our. Thank you so much, Sigvaldson. You are a producer on this show tonight. You have single-handedly basically taken care of the goals for the night. I appreciate that so much. Clerics and healing classes is what I have played most over the years, including MMOs. Times I wish the gods would imbibe me with clerical powers. Yeah, or imbue me with clerical powers. Same thing, imbibe.
Yeah, well, I'd rather let's get Aqua from that anime. She's dumb as a brick, but she can cleanse the undead, and she doesn't wear panties.
Exactly. So. Well, and that's the thing too. If you're gonna have a team, you always got to have a cleric. You got to have somebody that's gonna heal your team, or else you're donezo. There is no way to get to survive your adventure without some healing abilities. So yeah. I think this has been a really awesome show, man. We had three good topics we were talking about. Do you want to talk about Skinwalker Ranch a little bit while I go get my Tobin Spirit Guide?
Want me to get in that?
Yeah, well, just a little bit.
All right, I got a little bit. I didn't quite get everything, but right. Yeah. Let's see here. We start off with the land. And the Ute tribe had fought against the Mormon settlers in the area for many years before succumbing to illness. And they were placed inside a nearby reservation. It's the second largest reservation in the country, by the way. Brandon and Fugel purchased the property in 2016 from Robert Bigelow, who claims he sold the ranch because of supernatural forces killing his wife. His wife died in 2020, 4 years after he sold it. The Ute tribe is right next to Skinwalker Ranch, where the reservation. In fact, there's a fence line dividing the properties. According to Fugel, the tribe will place animal bladders on the fence line and to ward off the shape-shifting entities there.
Yeah.
While UFOs have been reported in the basin since 1970s, the first reports of the ranch come from Desert News. It was published in June 30th, 1996. This was before it gained the name Skinwalker Ranch and went by Sherman's Ranch. The Shermans reported it having frequently seen UFOs flying overhead. Their 10-year-old daughter had seen a small box-like craft with a white light, a 40-foot-long object, and a huge ship the size of several football fields. Giving actual sizes for something that's flying up in the air always raises a red flag for me, because you can't really judge size by looking at something that's high up. Mm-hmm. You don't have any frame of reference. and well, it's a 10-year-old. So they also reported having found crop circles of flattened grass. Terry Sherman reported one night hearing strange voices speaking in unfamiliar language that seemed to emanate from 25 feet above him. They also claim many cattle mutilations were occurring in the area. However, record clerk from the county sheriff's department had no records of receiving reports of UFOs or cattle mutilations. So apparently this is happening all over the place, but no one's reporting it.
Yeah.
The initial report didn't include any mention of the werewolf-like creatures that were later attributed to being skinwalkers from traditional stories of the Navajo people. Aside from the number of UFOs in reports, it sounded like a typical UFO claim. Though I kind of find it really odd that they're naming them skinwalkers after the Navajo stories, seeing as it's the Ute tribe that were really on the land, and the Ute tribe and the Navajo did have a war with each other, so it wasn't like the Navajo people weren't in the area per se, but just kind of a strange offhand there.
Yeah.
Fugel's claim he was running the most aggressive scientific discovery program there with the ranch. However, the ranch is trademarked for entertainment purposes. In the quote from the trademark, providing recreational facilities, entertainment services, namely creation, development, production, and distribution of multimedia content, motion pictures, and television shows. Fugel claims he did this to preserve the integrity of the name, preventing others from using the name on various pieces of entertainment, such as books and movies, yada yada. Despite his claims of conducting science, the rounds he makes are more on the entertainment side of the paranormal. Taxpayer money has gone into the ranch to promote it as in hopes to drive up tourism. Remember that from Area 51, to the area, including the creation of Phenomenon in 2023. Now, there's also been a guy who's quite associated with this name, Travis Taylor, where he does a lot of stuff. You'll find him on the Ancient Aliens program and Skinwalker Walker program on there. We had a guy named Stephen Greenstreet. He does documentaries. He's had tried to contact him, and apparently he was accused of being Greenstreet, or Tyler accused Greenstreet of possibly being a Man in Black.
Oh.
And for his documentary, he went onto the property. He had to actually sign a waiver to go on the Skinwalker Ranch. That's the thing. And when he finally pushed him to get some of the raw data that Taylor claims to have had, it was all just ghost stories and footage of orbs that were probably just moths. Things like that matter.
Yeah. So, like, the whole thing with Skinwalker Ranch, as far as
and let's not forget that the dino beavers.
Dino beavers? I've never heard that.
People have apparently reported seeing dino beavers.
The thing that I've heard most about Skinwalker Ranch is it's like the accumulation of everything paranormal. Like, there's not only
basically
there's not only ghosts, but there's aliens, there's cow mutilation, there's like warped dimensions. I mean, there's literally everything under the umbrella of supernatural can be found apparently at Skinwalker Ranch. That's why I think it's so fun to consider, because it seems to be the epicenter for literally everything supernatural and paranormal. There's been sightings of everything there, so I think that's what's so cool about it. But yeah, I never heard about the demon pigs, or what
dino beavers.
Dino beavers. Yeah.
That sounds like such a great sci-fi movie, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Dino beavers.
It sounds like Birdemic, but we need to have like.
That's such a good movie.
I
love Birdemic.
I'm still waiting. I want them to make a sequel to to cocaine bear or meth
Oh,
gator,
God.
meth gator versus cocaine bear. Make it
Meth
happen.
gator
goodness.
versus cocaine bear. Oh God. All right. Well, it's sad that we didn't get Hellhound here, but I am going to read and show you the artwork for Vince Clortho and Zool, the terror dogs from Ghostbusters. Look at that artwork. That is some beautiful artwork that they put in there. I'm gonna make my screen bigger so you can see it. Look at that amazing artwork. Let's see if I can get it centered better. Yeah, that is beautiful. All the artwork in here is so well done. I mean, literally, like everything is just so beautiful.
Oh, you got the red one too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Tony.
like,
yeah,
yeah.
Tony sent this. Yeah, Tony got one for me. Out of the kindness of his heart,
They came in green and red. I like the red color myself, personally.
Yeah. Well, see, here I'm gonna show you this. Let's see. I'm going to. Let's see. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, I am going to share my screen and share the tab. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Okay. So, you see this?
Ooh.
This is it says description. For the first time in almost 100 years, Tobin's Spirit Guide is now available in its unaltered first edition printing. This 500-page volume contains 12 chapters arranged primarily by geographic locations, which includes over 400 articles, 35 full-page illustrations, as well as over 100 smaller drawings, professionally bound in black genuine leather with a decorative embossed cover and spine complete with gold foil lettering.
Shut up and take my money.
Exactly. Are you okay? Well, here I didn't have it ready, but
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
exactly. That's exactly how I feel. This thing is beautiful, and it has.
What's the link here? What is this place?
I'll send it to. I'll put it in the chat. They have a weathered one, like that looks like it's been used and over time and stuff like that. You can also add a what's it called, a charm attached to it as well. But here, you know what? We'll just play we'll play the video for it. But I am gonna put this in the chat for everybody if y'all want to pre-order this. It's magnoliaprops.com/Tobin's hyphen spirit hyphen guide.
By the way,
journals. Yeah,
it's in stock. So
it is.
ordered.
Oh my God.
Oh, 275.
I'm literally on the phone right now taking care of this.
Dude, I want one. So can you get me one and I'll pay you back in increments?
What?
Oh man.
Let me take a look at this. Yeah, I'm on the site right now.
There's payment plans available. Yeah.
Damn, that fully aged is $20+. Fuck,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get the
You think
aged-
it would look nice aged?
Yes.
It would, right?
It would look beautiful aged. And it's only
Alright, let's do
$20
that.
more.
Charm Relic, we'll do that too because
Yeah.
we'll G it out.
Yeah.
Just
Get
add
two
the card.
get two of those and send one to me.
Let me take a look here. I already have two here. That one is this. Oh shit! I gotta remove this one. I'll take care of this after the stream. I don't want to grab my card and shit.
Yeah, dude, this is amazing. Yeah, go. I want
So
one
the
of these.
deluxe book costs it's gonna be $300.
Yeah,
With
it's
all the
gonna be-
bells and whistles, it's around
Yeah.
3 something plus shipping. So it's you're gonna spend about $400 for all that
No,
stuff.
No, it'll be about $310 because
You think so?
Yeah, because the shipping won't be more than probably
Let me
20
look at
bucks.
this. Let's take this one off.
The shipping wouldn't be more than 20 bucks. And there's also payment plans also. It says we accept interest-free payment plans on certain items via PayPal. Please email sales@magnoliaprops.com with the items
Oh,
that
they
you want.
accept PayPal. I might be able to get it then.
Exactly. So
323 is what it
323.
costs. Where's my subtotal? 1,000. Oh no, that's because I'm ordering like 5 books. That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think I need the aged one. I'm good with the.
What a beautiful book, man. Holy shit.
I know. Well, and it also has Beetlejuice. It has Hellraiser and Pinhead in there. It has like every demon that you see in media. Like it has them, and it also has like their class as far as like the Ghostbusters would. Yeah.
Wow, that book is nice.
Yeah. So I want this more than anything. I'm trying so hard to get this. Like this would be such an amazing prop to use in my series that I'm making too. But yeah, let's stop the screen and then I'm gonna play the video for y'all. Let's get back to that. Okay. Why isn't it full screen is available, but it's not showing it? Huh. It's okay. So I don't know why I can't share it. Anyway, I'm also going to be putting in the link for the video on for this as well. So you.
Oh yeah, and aftermarket, I could definitely see this thing going up to at least good $800.
Yeah. Yeah. This. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is that's why I want to get in early because they're doing pre-orders and I want this. I want this more than a child. All right, so this is Vince Clortho and Zool. It is a Class 7 fully corporeal possessors. For years, Gozerian cultists anticipated the coming of Vince Clortho and Zool, the minions and emissaries of Gozer, who would pave the way for the Destructor's coming and the world's end. The most powerful members of a race of other dimensional, bear-like creatures that have sometimes been referred to as terror dogs. Vince Clortho and Zool were possessing entities that could take over bodies of any mortal species. The two minions were able to travel interdimensionally in their search for beings they could use to bring about the coming of Gozer. Entering a new world, they would find a mortal host and possess them. This would transform the host into the Keymaster and the Gatekeeper. The individuals who, once united, would perform the rites needed to summon Gozer, doing the do-do. You know, you do the do.
Bow chicka.
Yeah, bow chicka, bow wow. Once the summoning was completed, the host would be transmorgified. I've never heard that word before. The host would be transmorgified into Vince Clortho and Zool's true forms, demonic terror dogs. In our initial encounter with Gozer, Dana Barrett and Louis Tully played host to Gozer's emissaries, but when the deity was defeated, they were both returned to human form unharmed. Although later tests showed that they had retained mild aggressive tendencies and a taste for rare meat for several weeks afterwards. That's a little thing we didn't really get in the Ghostbusters movie. Apparently, Louis Tully and Dana Barrett, they wanted some raw meat for a couple weeks after they transformed back into their human selves. And now we will get to Gozer. This is a pretty awesome piece of art as well. Check that out. That is a pretty sick. Yeah, there we go. That is a pretty sick Gozer, if you ask me. The Destructor, Gozer the Gozerian. That looks sick.
Vulgus Silverhall, the traveler has come. Choose and perish.
Yeah,
Choose. Choose your destructor.
choose. Oh, Casey, how you doing, man? Yeah, go check out Casey's Creepy Creations, and don't worry, brother, dude.
Hey, Casey.
I understand, man. There is no need to worry about it. Yeah, I love you. Just don't worry about it, brother. We're all here to help each other out when we can, and that's all that matters. I'm just glad that you're here, and I hope that y'all go check out Casey's Creepy Creations. He's growing like a madman over there on his channel, doing some amazing work. So go check out Casey's Creepy Creations. If any of the wrenches in there have a link to his channel, would you please put it in the chat for everybody to check out? He does amazing work. He writes his own stories, and then he also tells them and makes the videos. They're just amazing content. So go check out Casey. It's actually, it should be in the description as well. So please go check him out. Now I'm going to read to you Gozer. He is a class 7, or I guess it's an androgynous. So they, thems, Zezer, Gozer, class 7, exiled Sumerian deity of destruction. The Sumerian deity Gozer, also worshipped by Mesopotamians and the Hittites, were primarily associated with death and destruction, and was believed to be the one that would bring about the world's eventual end. Gozer's followers were constantly trying to compel their god to triggering Armageddon, a rival cult which worshipped the chaos goddess Tiamat. Gozer's sibling, I didn't realize that. Gozer's sibling opposed the Gozerian goal of universal destruction. Encouraged by their deity, Tiamat's followers performed the ritual needed to banish Gozer from our plane of existence, forcing the Destructor to become the Traveler. Wandering lost among the dimensions, though exiled from the plane, Gozer was not entirely forgotten. His followers dwindled in numbers over the millennium, but never stopped trying to call their god back to Earth. Gozer ultimately manifested at the site of the temple built atop 55 Central Park West, where he confronted the Ghostbusters. The building was designed by cultist Ivo Shandor, see entry on page 86, as a sort of spiritual radio tower created to better broadcast prayers to Gozer. The Gozerian initially appeared as the androgynous humanoid with blood-red eyes and new wave haircut, and demanded that we, as the race facing destruction, choose the form he would take to destroy our world. So he is a he. He just took a androgynous form. This opportunity to choose the form of the Destructor is Gozer's one concession to those he annihilates. Unfortunately for Gozer, the form chosen by the stray thought of Dr. Stantz was that of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, see on page 90, was not nearly as formidable as other forms he had previously taken. Ultimately, Gozer's physical essence was destroyed when we crossed our individual proton streams, risking total protonic reversal, aimed them at the temple from which the deity had emerged into this plane of existence. Later encounters revealed that although Gozer's physical essence was dispersed, his consciousness remained on Earth, attempting to find a new physical form and complete his mission of destruction. Gozer has been successful at physical reconstitution on one or more than one occasion, but is now permanently locked into the form of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Okay, so that does make sense now about the video game.
Yeah.
So that explains that. I was confused about that.
Also, the Tiamat stuff comes from the IDW comics.
Cool. That's awesome. That's really cool to know. That answers my questions about how the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man came back, because he's locked into that. Okay. Gozer has been successful at physical reconstitution on more than one occasion, but is now permanently locked into the form of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. The deity has tried to force a reselection in order to assume a more powerful form, but has been as yet unsuccessful. So because he was because the Ghostbusters had collapsed the portal to which Gozer had came from, the selection of the Destructor was already formed, and because he basically has been locked into that because he was defeated, and so he has to win in that form, I guess, to be able to change forms. I don't know. That's pretty cool though. I really enjoyed that. That's cool. I'll just read this section too. Section 5, Gozer, the time traveler, and those who follow him. This section features the information on the Sumerian god of destruction, Gozer the Gozerian, aka Volgulus Zildahor, Lord of Cebulia, the traveler, the destructor, and those connected to him. The modern day arrival of this obscure deity, worshipped long ago by Sumerians, Mesopotamians, and Hittites, was the closest the world has come to annihilation. Based on that fact alone, Gozer and his minions have earned a section of their own in his revised version of Tobin's Spirit Guide. And this is an amazing book, and I'm so blessed to have it. Thank you so much, Tony. But I want that other book so bad now.
So do I.
Oh my God. I am so in that leather-bound 500-page total lore of every demon and ghost and ghoul that's ever come across the screen that the Ghostbusters would put a class on, and it actually builds into the lore like this. Like, I think that this isn't like this book. It says it's written by Egon and Ray Stantz, while this other book, the leather-bound one, is by J.H. Tobin. So it's by Tobin himself. This isn't the rewritten version.
This would have been what they would have used in the first movie.
Exactly. Research. This is the exact prop that they would have used in that movie, and it actually has 500 pages of fully written lore on ghouls and ghosts from movies and stuff like that. Also with illustrations and stuff like that as well, like in this book, in the red one. God, I want that book so bad. I'm drooling. Okay.
Yeah, same here.
All right. So thank you so much, everybody. This was a great stream. It's sad that we didn't get the Terror Dog himself to come by and listen to the reading and check out the new intro that I made, but I will be playing the end of the button pushing by Lord Zed for Sig Valdison, and then we will be doing our casting or not casting, but our promos for what we got going on. And then I think we'll call it a night, and we'll have something for you next Tuesday as well. We'll keep this going. This is a fun little time that I have here. I think that y'all are having a good time too. So we'll have something more, some different topics. Yeah, we'll just have a good time and have some more topics for next week. But here you go, Sig. This is for you.
Neon lights and shadow skies, evil birth from dark disguise. Heroes rise with power grand, battle screams and shifting sand. Lord sent the beast to slay, roaring threats at break of day. Team of champions take their stand, strength and might at their command. Fists and lasers clash in night, earth last hope in desperate fight. Lightning cracks but heroes fade, broken dreams in moonlight shade. Echoes of their final call, watch them stumble, watch them fall. Monsters rage and fires blaze, lost beneath the crimson haze. Stars collapse and cities wane, hero stories end in pain. Evil's laughter fills the void, everything once bright destroyed. In the rubble echoes hear, whispers of a fallen seer. Ghosts of valor haunt the night, silent echoes of the fight. Evil's laughter fills the void, everything once bright destroyed. In the rubble echoes hear, whispers of a fallen seer. Ghosts of valor haunt the night, lost beneath the crimson haze. So fight, and the light shades. So fight, so fight, so fight.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that, Casey, and Gunner as well. I appreciate that. I worked hard on that. And that was for you, Sig. I hope you enjoyed it. That was the Earth being destroyed. Yeah, all the heroes, they failed, unfortunately, in that ending. Yeah, well, no, I don't steal content from other people. I don't want to do that. So this was Lord Zed's attempt, and successful attempt at destroying the Earth and killing all of the heroes. Yeah, there's no yeah. Okay, good. Hopefully, I hope that you don't expect me to do that. I don't want to step on any toes and you know make anybody that I respect so much upset or anything. So yeah, I hope that y'all had a good time tonight. I know I did. I guarantee you that if we ever get those Tobin Spirit guides, we're gonna do a whole lot of episodes on the pages in there. um, it was a good version. It was a good vision of our Eldritch God turning this world into an Eldritch paradise. And Mage Growth, I was just about to say, I was just about to type that in for you to do that. Go over and I want you to do your plug, and I'll put it in the chat.
All right. Well, my channel, May Ninja's Media Musings. I do a show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be working on trying to get some music videos out and other videos on the channel. But this week, for the movie trio, I'll be doing a most excellent movie.
Ooh, I think I know.
So watch out for that.
Cool. All right. Well, I appreciate you being here, and next Tuesday, I hope that you come back, and I'll give you a little more. I'll give everybody a little more time to do a little tighter, schedule instead of sending out just like a shit ton of topics.
Yeah. I wasn't sure what to work on first there.
I realized after I sent that, I was like, they're gonna feel so overwhelmed. I feel so bad. Like I didn't mean to do that. I just wanted to have enough topics to cover up cover some time and pick the best ones. But I'll make sure to narrow it down and be a little more concise next time. So yeah, be excellent to each other. Exactly. I think we know exactly what's going on. File 13, what's going on with you, buddy?
Well, you know what? Thank you for having me on this stream. I really do have an enjoyable time coming out here and talking about all these subjects. As far, I've been thinking a lot about my channel. If you know what, sometimes making your way in the world today, it takes everything you got, guys. And taking a break from all your worries, you know what? It sure would help a lot. And would you guys like to get away? You get away to the File 13 stream. Because you know what, guys? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. I don't know. Can I fit?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how you know this, but and they're always glad that I'm always glad you guys came. You know what I mean? You want to be where you want to see, and all our troubles are the same. And you want to be where everybody knows your name. So if you want to be where you want to be, come check out the File 13 stream. That came from the heart, guys. I did that myself. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, go check out File 13. He's awesome, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart too. Just meeting you in the past couple weeks has been such a blessing to add you to my true friends. Like I feel like we all get along so well. You, me, Mage, Sean, Tony. I feel like we just jive really well with each other, and it's just such. Dude, like when we were watching Mr. Sardonicus and you threw out that I've got a golden tick,
where's the clip? Where's the clip, bro?
I'm still cracking up about it, man. I need to get some time to cut that up and put that out, man, because that was one of the funniest.
I've showed people that clip and they just laugh.
Oh my god, it was so perfect. So
bro, what's the next movie? I'm actually really excited about
I haven't picked it yet. I have a few that I'm looking through, but I want it to be really good and really scary, and I also want to make sure it's
I have said the original Night of the Living Dead is public domain.
Okay, well then maybe that'll be it. I'm definitely thinking about a few, and I'll put that in the listing too, and try and figure out which one to go with. Because I mean, we're gonna keep doing this, man. Like every Sunday, it's gonna be another movie. Hopefully, what I plan on doing is doing like an introduction type, like a 20 to 25 minute radio program at first, and then we'll do the fun, the big movie at the end.
Probably still a good idea to double check them just before you play them too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna ask Stupinzo how he checked it so quickly, and then I'm gonna make sure to do that before I even think about what movie I'm gonna do. But yeah, that was amazing. You're hilarious. It's a pleasure to have you, man. And as for me, you know what I'm doing. I'm doing my Sunday streams. Like I just said, we have File 13 coming around sometimes. We have Sean sometimes. We have Tony sometimes. Maybe we'll have them all this week. Who knows? Depending on if Tony comes back sooner than later. But either way, we're going to have a good time on Sunday and watch a movie, listen to some radio program, have some fun. And then we're also going to be doing this paranormal stream. And once I get this flow going, and I don't have to, focus on making an intro video for this program and that type of stuff, then I can focus on making a video 5 days a week as well. Other than that, it's been a pleasure, you guys. I love you all so much. God bless, and I'll see you soon. May the power protect you.
Power up all around the force in the skies. Watching wheels go and screams truth in his eyes. He dives into comets and shows how he knows. The Theta Ranger morphs, knowledge overflows. Gadgets, gizmos, like wisdom from the net. Analyzing every clue, never breaks the sweat. From animated sci-fi treasures to explore. With data stored by his side, he's ready for more. Theta thunder, power strong. Brains and bomb, can't go wrong. Geeky warrior fights the fight. The Theta Ranger lights the night. History of games, consoles, ancient lore. Finding strength and wisdom, always seeking more. Guardians of the universe, knowledge is the key. Theta Ranger monsters, all that keep us so free. Virtual world, pixel dreams, and theory streams. Decoding complex thoughts and reveling schemes. Comic panels, pages, web of untold tales. With wisdom and power, never ever fails. Geeky heart, heroes might. Battle fought with brain and light. Theta Ranger, Alpha Prime, in